Way back when I was just a little bitty boy, living in a box under the stairs in the corner of the basement, half a block down the street from Jerry's bait shop. You know the place. Well, anyway, back then life was going swell and everything was just peachy. Except for, of course, the undeniable fact that every single morning my mother would make me a big bowl of sauerkraut for breakfast. It was driving me crazy. I said to my mom, "Hey Mom, what's with all the sauerkraut?" My dear sweet mother, she just looked at me like a cow looks at an oncoming train, and she leaned right down next to me and she said, "It's good for you." Then she tied me to the wall, stuck a funnel in my mouth, and forced me nothing but sauerkraut until I was 26 and a half years old. That's when I swore that someday I would get out of that basement and I would travel to a magical faraway place where the sun is always shining and the air smells like warm root beer. And the towels are oh so fluffy. Where the Shriners and Lepers play their ukuleles all day long and anyone on the street will gladly shave your back for a nickel. Well, let me tell you, people, it wasn't long before that dream came true, because the very next day, a local radio station had this contest to see who could correctly guess the number of molecules in Leonard Nimoy's rear end. I was off by 3, but I still won the grand prize. That's right, a first-class halfway ticket to Albuquerque. There are many prose performances that warm the heart and inspire the soul. This is not one of those. This is Albuquerque by Weird Al Yankovic. Oh yeah, I'd never been on a real airplane before, and I gotta tell you, it was really great. Except that I had to sit between 2 large Albanian women with excruciatingly severe body odor. And the little kid in the back of me kept throwing up the whole time. The flight attendants ran out of Dr. Pepper and salted peanuts. And the in-flight movie was Biodome with Pauly Shore. And oh yeah, three of the airplane engines burned out, went into a tailspin and crashed into the hillside. And everybody on the plane exploded in a dry fireball and everybody died. Except for me. You know why? Because I kept my tray table up and my seat back in a full upright position. Kept my tray table up and my seat back in a full upright position. So I crawled from the twisting, burning wreckage. I crawled on my hands and knees for 3 full days, dragging along my big leather suitcase and my garment bag and my tenor saxophone and my 12-pound bowling ball. And my lucky autographed glow-in-the-dark snorkel. But I finally arrived at the world-famous Albuquerque Holiday Inn, where the towels are oh so fluffy and you can eat your soup right out of the ashtrays if you wanna. It's okay, they're clean. Well, I checked in my room and I turned on the AC and I turned on the Spectravision and I'm just about to eat the little chocolate mint on my pillow that I love oh so very, very much. When suddenly there's a knock on the door. Well now, who could that be? I say, "Who is it?" Then no answer. "Who is it?" No answer. "Who is it?" They're not saying anything. So I finally go over there. I open the door, and just as I suspected, it's some big fat hermaphrodite with a flock of seagulls haircut and only one nostril. Oh man, I hate it when I'm right. So anyways, he bursts into my room and he grabs my lucky snorkel. I'm like, "Hey, you can't have that." He's like, "That snorkel's been just like a snorkel to me." And he's like, "Tough." And I'm like, "Give it." He's like, "Make me." He's like, I'm like, "Okay." Well, to cut a long story short, he got away with my snorkel, but I made a solemn vow right then and there that I would not rest. I would not sleep for an instant until one nostril man was brought to justice. But first, I decided to buy some donuts. So I got in my car and I drove over to the donut shop. I walked up to the guy behind the counter and he says, "Yeah, what do you want?" I said, "You got any glazed donuts?" He said, "No, we're out of glazed donuts." "You got any jelly donuts?" He said, "No, we're out of jelly donuts." "You got any varying cream-filled donuts?" "No, we're out of varying cream-filled donuts." "You got any apple fritters?" "No, we're out of apple fritters." "You got any bear claws?" "Hold on, I'll go check." "No, we're out of bear claws." Well, in that case, what do you have? He says, "All I got right now is this box of 12 starving crazed weasels." I said, "Okay, I'll take that." So he hands me the box and I open up the lid and the weasels jump out and then he latch onto my face. They were really tearing me apart, man. They were just going nuts. I ran out on the street with these flesh-eating weasels all over my face, waving my arms around, running like a constipated wiener dog. And just as luck would have it, that's exactly when I ran into the girl of my dreams. Her name was Zelda. She was a calligraphy enthusiast with a slight overbite and hair the color of strained peaches. I'll never forget the first thing she said to me. She said, "Hey, you got weasels on your face." That's when I knew it was love at first sight. We were inseparable after that. We ate together, we bathed together, we even shared the same piece of mint-flavored dental floss. The world was our burrito. So we got married, and we bought us a house. We had 2 beautiful children, Nathaniel and Superfly, and oh, we were so very, very, very happy. But then one fateful night, Zelda, she leaned over me and she said, "Sweetie Pumpkin, do you wanna join the Colombian Record Club?" I said, "Whoa, hold on now, baby. I'm just not ready for that kind of commitment." So we broke up and I never saw her again. But that's just the way things going. Albuquerque. Anyway, things really started looking up for me because about a week later, I finally achieved my lifelong dream. That's right. I got me a part-time job at the Sizzler. I even made Employee of the Month. After I put that grease fire with my face. Oh yeah, everybody was pretty jealous of me after that. I was getting a lot of attitude. Okay, like one time, I was out in the parking lot trying to remove this excess earwax with a golf pencil. Wanted to see this guy, Marty, trying to carry a big old sofa up the stairs all by himself. So I say to him, I say, hey, want me to help you with that? And Marty, he just rolls his eyes and he says, no, I want you to cut my arms and legs off with a chainsaw. And so I did. And he gets all indignant on me. He's like, hey man, I was just being sarcastic. Well, that's just great. How was I supposed to know that? I mean, I'm not a mind reader for crying out loud. Besides, now he's got a really cute nickname. Torso Boy. So what's he complaining about? Anyway, I kind of lost my train of thought here. What was it? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, it's been kind of a roundabout way of saying it, but I guess the whole point I'm trying to make here is I hate sauerkraut. That's all I'm really trying to say. And by the way, if one day you happen to wake up and find yourself in an existential quandary full of loathing and self-doubt and racked with the pain and isolation of your pitiful, meaningless existence, at least you can take a small bit of comfort in knowing that somewhere out there in this crazy mixed-up universe of ours, there's this little place called Albuquerque.